Hey friends, Amanda here, Bare Bones Living. Welcome back to my kitchen, and today is a really hot day. I think we're at 100 degrees today, and like most of the country, we're still in this incredible heat wave, but we still gotta eat. So I thought it would be fun to make something that we can cook outside and that's fresh and light. And we have our garlic scapes that we just harvested from our garlic. So last year when we got our garlic scapes, I kind of cooked them up like asparagus because I love asparagus. But I didn't really like that, and so this year I wanted to make a pesto, and I found a recipe that I thought would be fun to try, and that is a garlic scape pesto with lemon balm leaves instead of basil. So it's like a lemon garlic pesto. So I thought that would be really fun to try this recipe. It sounded really good. It sounded really fresh and light, and I want to use up some garlic scapes. Always trying to get all the parts of the plant used that I can, and garlic scapes come out of hard neck garlics, and I want to use them the best way that I can. So the recipe that I found calls for a cup of garlic scapes. So I'm going to put those into my mixer, and I'm just going to pulse these up, and then I'm going to be adding a 1/4 cup of raw unsalted sunflower seeds. So let me get this going. So I pulsed up the garlic scapes, and then I added in the sunflower seeds, and I pulsed that up too. Just because those are like the chunkiest, hardest parts of this. And now I'm going to add the rest of the ingredients. So that was a cup of garlic scapes and a 1/4 cup of sunflower seeds. Now I'm going to add another 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese. I'm going to add a 1/2 cup of these lemon balm leaves. And then I'm going to add a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And 1/8 of a teaspoon of pepper. And then as I'm mixing this, I'm going to be drizzling in about a 1/2 cup of olive oil. Add some more now so I can see it. There we go. Okay, so my Vitamix was struggling to mix all of this when it was just the one serving, or the one batch size that recipe called for, because it was just too few ingredients in here. So I doubled it, and it worked out a lot better for me, but it also took way more than a 1/2 cup of oil, because these garlic scapes are just super fibrous. But I finally got it all mixed up and minced as small, to the size that I wanted. And it tastes really good, you guys. It tastes just like a pesto. But you do get that garlic and that lemon flavor in there, which is very nice and fresh. And what I'm planning on doing with this for dinner tonight is I'm going to grill up some salmon fillets and make like a salmon pesto pasta. And I thought that this would be really good on it. And then the rest of it I'm going to actually freeze, since you can't can pesto because of the Parmesan cheese. So I'm going to cook up the rest of my meal, and then I'll show you guys what it looks like in the end. So the recipe was a little bit of a trial and error. I have never made pesto with garlic scapes before, and garlic scapes are very fibrous. Like I mentioned, I needed a lot more olive oil than the recipe called for in order to cut through, and I pulled a lot of my garlic scapes before they started to curl. Some of them were really long and mature, but a lot of them were very young and tender, and they were still very fibrous. So I would say for the one batch, like a cup of garlic scapes, you would need at least a cup, if not more, of olive oil, and not the half a cup that the recipe called for. But I thought that this pesto with the garlic scapes and the lemon balm was awesome. I think it's so fun that you could make, I made pesto without any basil, and I think that's really cool. And I went out into my garden and I picked garlic scapes and I picked lemon balm, and that never once crossed my mind that would make pesto. And this stuff tastes awesome. It's definitely very garlicky. The lemon is much more subtle, but I thought it paired very well with the salmon. And I think that this is a winner, but then again, like I said, if you're going to use a Vitamix, you got to make a bigger portion, because those things are just so powerful that if you make just one recipe, one serving, or just the 1 cup of garlic scapes, it's just, the Vitamix just like throws it to the side of the blender, and it doesn't actually grind it up or anything like that. But so we had a whole dinner out of it. I have this, and I have another even smaller, like my tomato paste jar that's 7 ounces or something. I filled that 3/4 of the way or halfway with whatever was left. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep that tomato paste bottle in my refrigerator to add on to something else later in the week or next week. And this one I am going to freeze. I think that this portion, which this is like a jelly container, I don't know how many ounces this is, but I think this will be perfect for another meal at some point. But again, pesto is so versatile, and I just love that I can go out in my yard and find different ingredients to make a pesto that tastes different than the traditional pesto, but still is absolutely delicious. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I encourage you to try different things. I would have never thought to use lemon balm in pesto, but hey, You never know until you try, right? So I hope you guys are encouraged to try some new things. This was definitely a new one for me, but it is something that I definitely enjoyed, and I will catch you on the next one. Thank you guys for stopping by today and joining in on our journey here at Bare Bones Living. We'll catch you on the next one.